Hi, welcome to Rock and Metal Invasion. My name is Steve. Coming up on the show today, I am doing lesser known female fronted hard rock and metal from the 80s, part 9. So it's actually been a while. I had a look and look back on my past episodes, and part 8 was actually August last year. So it's been a little bit over a year since I've done this. But so I've got a few to do today and a few to show and talk about. And a real mix, actually, some speed metal all the way through to sort of more AOR hard rock. Pop rock kind of stuff, but all female fronted. And I think for the most part, when I say female fronted, I'm talking about the vocalist is a female. That I think with most of these, the band members though are male musicians, but the singer is female. And yeah, like I said, this is part 9, so let's get into it. So first one I'm going to talk about is a band called Acid, and this is their EP. Just called Black Car. It's a 4-track EP. Now there's a sticker on here, Belgium. I'm not sure if that is because maybe there was another band called Acid, so they're sort of differentiating themselves. But not easy to get actually, and this is actually the only Acid record I have, and it's not a full album. It's just a 4-track EP, like I said. This song here, Black Cars, from the album Maniac. But yeah, not easy to get, quite expensive. And this is, like speed metal, early sort of speed thrash sort of metal, very influential, quite an influential band, I think. But yeah, really not easy to get, and they're not really the kind of band necessarily. There's only 3 albums, but I'm going to spend a lot, money, lots of money to sort of buy them. I do like it, but it probably ain't something I'd only get if I picked it up cheap. This wasn't too expensive because it was just a 4-track EP, but I was really impressed with it. I think it sounds really good. Good production. The vocalist is Kate de Lambert. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but yeah, I mean, obviously Belgium, so they're from Belgium. And the band actually, they formed quite early on, so they formed like 1980, I think it was. And like I said, just the 3 albums. I don't know, they have actually reformed. I noticed that they had a live album that's come out this year on High Roller Records, but it's called Kate's Acid. So Kate is, of course, the female singer. So maybe there's some sort of rights over the name, so she's called it Kate's Acid. But it's not an album. It's just a live recording of a concert they did last year in 2023. But yeah, just the 3 albums, and the last one was in '85. I'd definitely be interested, in picking up their other albums, but like I say, just a matter of getting it for a good price. But this is good, yeah, good production. The guitarist, they've all got like pseudonyms. So Demon is the guitarist, T-Bone is the bassist, and you've got Anvil is drummer, and Dizzy Lizzy as the second guitarist. I mean, that's the lineup, at least that I've. It doesn't actually say the lineup on here. There's like no inner sleeve or anything. No more information really. I'm just apart from the record, unless I'm missing it. But yeah, that's the lineup I read about on Wikipedia. But yeah, and initially they formed as Precious Page, but I think a good choice to change their name. I think Acid is more applicable. They're like I say, that Precious Page would sort of seem like they're more of a glam rock, hard rock, glam metal, whatever you want to call it, type band. It's certainly not that. I guess they did come along in the at the start of the new wave of British heavy metal, and I think although they're not from they're not a British band, I think they would have been quite one of the influential bands, definitely, that came out around that time. So yeah, kind of actually kind of a little bit like a heavy Warlock. Early Warlock was quite heavy anyway, with Doro, of course, on vocals. So it reminds me a little bit of that. And when you think about it, let's say coming out with their first album around 1980, there weren't a lot of female fronted bands that were that heavy. Maybe you had Girls' School, but that were doing that sort of heavier sort of type of music, but not a lot of females in bands at that time in the early 80s. So yeah, I'm going to play you a clip from the music video for Black Car. right. So on the other end of the spectrum, really, this is more pop rock, with a real hard rock edge, though. Now this band actually have never released an album. They only put out four singles. They're from the Netherlands, and they are called The Box. So there's four singles. I've only got two of them. And this is really the only one worth having, to be honest with you. The from what I can hear from their other songs, definitely more pop rock. But this song in particular, I Need Love, has a really nice riff that kicks it off, and definitely is more of a hard rock type song. But they do have, it's kind of hard, look at their image, you'd probably say, well, they're looking quite pop rock. And yeah, I mean, I think, like I say, they didn't put out an album, but from what I've heard, I've got this single, which, like I say, I Need Love is a good song. And then I've got this single as well, but it's just a bit too soft. For me, it doesn't really rock very hard, but yeah, this was good. So I'll play a clip from a pop show that they did, where they're doing "I Need Love," and you can have a listen to it. Yeah, the B side is at the top. It's nothing great, but yeah, interesting. They put out four singles, but there was never an album. The singer is someone called Mirjam van Doorn. Like I said, from the Netherlands. I'm not too sure what the other guy's going to go on to do or anything like that. I'm looking her up on Discogs. She's still, active in the music industry a little bit, makes some guest appearances and so forth. And in the sort of hard rock metal scene, she's done some guest vocals on some progressive metal albums in recent times. Just as a guest vocalist type of thing. But yeah, so let's check out. I think this might be the only music video of them as a band that I could find anyway online. And this is, yeah, the really, if you're into hard rock AOR, you want to check this out. This is yeah, but like I say, it's The Box with two X's and I Need Love. All right, next up, I'm going to talk about female vocalist Kate Lawrence. So this is her, I think, her one and only solo album. It's called Rip and Tear. Came out on FM Revolver Records, which is like a division of Heavy Metal Records. Came out in 1986, and she's probably most well known for having been the vocalist for the band 1994. So this came out in 79. I think this one came out in 1980. No, sorry, this one's 79. This one could be 78. So, yeah, actually late 70s. She was the vocalist for 1994. Quite an influential band. 1994. Well, at least they're critically acclaimed by people who sort of know about them. And yeah, I can see why. Really good late 70s hard rock. So yeah, I've been enjoying that one. It's quite a new discovery. But it's really good. Her vocals are just fantastic. Just a really fantastic vocalist. She's quite well known as well for having written the song that. Well, I mean, she didn't get the credit probably that she deserved. I think she's a little bit annoyed about it as well. But she actually wrote the song "Prisoner Captured by Your Eyes." Was like on a soundtrack that ended up being a big hit for Barbra Streisand. I'm not sure how much credit she actually got for that, but she was one of the songwriters for that song. She featured on an Aerosmith song back in the 70s. And in fact, Jack Douglas, who was, producer for Aerosmith in the 70s, he's produced both the both or sorry, Jack Douglas. Yeah, he's produced both the 1994 albums. Um, and I actually, like I said, people who know about her are big fans. Jeff Barden from Classic Rock Magazine actually said that she is probably the greatest female-fronted, that 1994 is probably the greatest female-fronted release of all time. So it's from Jeff Barden. So yeah, I mean, and vocally, she's fantastic. She only did this one solo album, and she also did I think in around 81 she put out some what was it called, Girls Night Out, and it was well, it was her, but it was called Karen Lawrence and the Pins, and it was on a major label. I think there's a music video as well. Pretty good song too. So I think they came out 81, but no album. But yeah, so check this album out. It's really good. It's not super heavy at all. At all. It's very similar actually to 1994 pop, hard rock. Bit of a mix really. Some pop rock, hard rock. But really good. There's one song, I'm not sure if it actually got recorded for this album, but there was a song called Somewhere in Paradise that is not on the album and features at the in the end credits for a movie called Soul Taker that came out in 1990, really obscure sort of movies. And that song only plays in the credits, but you can hear it on YouTube. That's a really good song as well. And I think she's now like doing like these she's doing cover songs, and she's in a band called Karen Lawrence and Blue by Nature, sort of bluesy rock kind of stuff from what I could see. But yeah, so it's good that she's still involved a little bit in the music industry. But yeah, been around, of course, for a while. When you think about the fact that yeah, she's been on albums since the 70s, great voice. And I think this is probably an album that maybe not many people know about. I didn't know about Karen Lawrence. I didn't know about this album until quite recently. But if you like, good hard rock, not too heavy, like I said, even, but just great vocals, good songwriting. Yeah, go check out Karen Lawrence, Rip and Tear, and of course, check out 1994. Right, so there's no music video for that, at least that I can find, from Rip and Tear the album, but I'm going to play Never Enough. So I'll play you a song called Never Enough that is from that album. Okay, and then I'll be back with another one. All right, we'll see you soon. All right, next up, I'm going to talk about Erica. So this is Erica, and this is the album Cold Winter Night. So Erica actually was married at one point to Yngwie Malmsteen, and he does feature on the song Emergency on this album, just on the guitar there. Surprisingly, that's it. That's his only contribution that I know of, although it does say here guitars he's listed, but he's only actually featured on this one song, I think. Yeah, not very heavy. Together We're Lost, though, is a good song, and there's a music video for that. Living Like a Hurricane, not too bad, but otherwise it's pretty soft. Not very heavy at all, barely hard rock even, but she has a nice voice, really good, nice voice. So her name's Erica Norberg, I think is her official name. And she's actually put out 6 albums, so I've only got 2. This is the second one. So that was, I think, 91, maybe. Yeah, no, 1990, and this one's 1991. So there she is there. This one's In the Arms of a Stranger, which the title track's actually not too bad. Also, Wake Me Up When the House is on Fire's pretty good. Jack Ponty song, actually. So it's got a real Jack Ponty type chorus. Games We Play is good. But the rest, it's again, not that heavy. But it is what it is. And yeah, no Yngwie Malmsteen on this one. They may have even have separated at this point. I'm not too sure. They didn't stick around together for very long, I don't think. But yeah, like I said, she's actually put out 6 albums, and her most recent one, which was 2016, I've heard, and it's my favorite of. Like, I haven't heard all her albums, to be honest with you, but I much prefer it over the first two. It's heavier, and there's some really good songs on it. So I was really pleasantly surprised. So check out Deaf, Dumb and Blonde from 2016. It's pretty good. But yeah, so and like I said, she had those 2 albums out in the early 90s, and she's released a few from time to time throughout the 90s into the 2000s. But yeah. So we'll check out the music video though from the first album, and it's a pretty good song actually. This is Together We're Lost.
Can't you see when you look in my eyes? Don't you feel that something is wrong? Yes, it seems like we live on a lie, and babe, I don't wanna go on. Every day I'm hurting you more every night. You're making me cry. You must know that it's not like before. Still, I pretend to love you, I pretend to need you, I pretend to want you, but I know in my heart that we slowly are drifting apart. The ground is trembling, the sky is unfolding. Time for departure, but together we're lost. So don't you follow, I must pay whatever it costs. For your love, I gave you my heart.
All right, next one we're going to talk about is Lauren Smokin. So this is very much bluesy rock, blues hard rock at times. Not that heavy, but there's a bit of a link to Karen Lawrence because Jack Douglas produced 1994, and he also produced Lauren Smokin's album, which is quite interesting because this is not on a major label. It's on a very obscure sort of label I'm not really that familiar with. And to my knowledge, this is her only release. But I can imagine, you hear her voice. She's got a fantastic voice that, you'd be interested in recording with her. And, it's got the band members there, but it's mainly just, pictures of her. This is from 1988. Yeah, like I said, not very heavy, but if you like bluesy rock, she's got a nice voice. But if you're into the more AOR hard rock sort of sound, License to Love is a good song that's worth checking out. Rockabye Baby, that's a good track as well. But yeah, it's not the greatest if you're into sort of hard rock, something a bit heavier. You might not want to bother, but yeah, she's definitely got a great voice. Sounds good. There's only one music video that I could find. It's not even really a music video, but video footage of her, and that's for the song Smile. So yeah, but just one and done. But yeah, like I said, produced by Jack Douglas, so it sounds good production. But yeah, the only music video I can find is for the song Smile. So I'll play a little bit of that. All right.
Sky
All right, last one for this episode is Maltese and the album Count Your Blessings. So this is their debut full length. They did release like an EP in '87 called We Came to Rock, but it sounds nothing like this. More bluesy hard rock. This is like pretty much just full on metal. The vocalist is Barbara Maltese, and she sounds great. Some really good riffs on here. This is a 2022 reissue on No Remorse Records, and yes, I mean it's got 4 songs on each side, but the fourth song on side 2 is just an instrumental of "The Blessed Are the Strong," the first song on side 1. So really only 7 songs, but really good stuff. My go-to song is "Count Your Blessings," and there is a music video for that one. So yeah, let's check that one out. But yeah, the band sounded great. Could have been I think quite successful. And 1990. This is not hair metal. This is just straight up metal. I could imagine, that they had the potential to be successful. But I think a lot of times people think, oh, in 1991, 92, hair metal was killed off. But actually, metal in general, right? Like heavy metal wasn't popular either, really. Grunge, yeah, it killed hair metal, but it killed the heavy metal bands as well, or made things very difficult for them. Heavy metal, apart from bands like maybe Megadeth and Pantera and of course Metallica, those bands, the scene was pretty dead from what it had been back in the sort of '80s. So yeah, I guess that probably didn't help. I know I read an interview with Barbara and Barbara Maltese, and yeah, it sounds like the band sort of split up, and she just sort of went off and did her own sort of thing, but nothing really, I don't think, in the music industry, and yeah, but a good band by the sounds of it. The producer was also one of the songwriters, a guy called JP. Yeah, he had some personal issues, and that didn't probably help the band, and that was that. So anyway, here's the music video for "Count Your Blessings." We'll finish with this one. Hope you've enjoyed watching the 9th edition of lesser known female fronted hard rock and metal from the '80s. Of course, this one's 1990, but some of them have just sort of crept into the early '90s. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, hit the thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you enjoy this type of content. All right, well, I'll be back later with another episode. Until then, we'll catch you later.